everybody. Welcome back to the FitBiz Podcast. Today, I'm going to share a conversation with you that I had with a new online coach, and it's going to set up the main topic I want to cover here, which is more or less the 5 ways that you can guarantee to stay broke and stagnant as an online health and fitness coach. Now listen, before I jump in, we both know that you don't have to get hit by a car to know that you should look both ways before crossing a street. Why is that? Because plenty of people have been hit by cars that we know we should just look both ways. You can learn from others' mistakes and save yourself so much time, pain, and money. For example, investing in mentorship, it's not just about learning what to do. A big part of it is knowing what not to do, avoiding mistakes, because ignorance is the most expensive business expense you'll ever make. I know this firsthand. I've made all these mistakes I'm going to share with you, but I've also built a 7-figure coaching company that's generated over 35 million in the fitness industry. So here's how to avoid these pitfalls, build a business that actually works. So this story that I had with this new coach, we were talking to him about how he was going to launch his business. This guy actually had a law degree from Duke, corporate sales background. He was clearly very smart and actually pretty accomplished in the corporate environment. He'd already taken on, I think, 20 personal training clients. He was charging like $300 a month to train them at their homes. He managed their nutrition. He'd even launched a podcast with his wife in which they wanted to eventually sell a relationship coaching offer. Then he went on to tell me that his online fitness business was ready after 6 months of building systems, planning content, and creating these multiple different pricing tiers based on call frequency. And so I just asked him a few simple questions that honestly brought some big issues to light. Number one, I asked him, like, why have you not started posting content yet? You have all these plans, and these plans, he seemed to be sure that were going to lead to all these followers, all this traffic. And I'm like, bro, you don't know that. Like, you have to start posting. Then I asked him number two, why spend 6 months building an offer and systems and all of these things without trying to get clients? Typically, we want to build a program that is good enough to sell, then get it sold. And as it sells, then we learn how to make it better, because otherwise you're going to have to redo it. And the third thing I asked is, like, why create all these deliverables without even knowing if anything's going to work? Problem was that he assumed that online coaching was all about this planning, mindset work, training, nutrition, getting referrals, etc. But listen, fitness businesses are actually 85% sales, marketing, and just taking action. He also thought that referrals alone would fuel his business. But listen, even the top businesses can get about a 20% referral rate from their clients. What I mean is, let's say you're getting 3 clients a month. You're lucky to get 1 referral every 2 months if you're at 20%. Most coaches only see a 10% referral rate, which is still good, but relying on that alone is not enough. That means you're getting 1 new client every 4 months. So I'm going to break down now the top 5 ways that most coaches stay broke and stagnant. And these are some things that I saw this guy was going through. So number 1, whatever you do, don't learn how to generate leads consistently, or don't learn marketing. All right, look, your service could be amazing, but if nobody knows about it, it's useless. Awareness is literally your business's lifeblood. All right, awareness brings in leads, and without consistent new leads, you can't scale. The thing is, some coaches might have some success in the beginning, here and there, because maybe they sign up a bunch of people who already know you from, everyday life. They consider you an expert, but those people are going to run out. New people need to see your content or your ads and engage with your message and allow you to build trust over time. And the thing is, content is the best way to start this, but once you can afford $1,000 to $2,000, maybe $3,000 for ads, I would invest in advertising. Ads are predictable, whereas content is not. Here's what I mean. With ads, you control your reach. Think about it like this. In a general fitness offer, you might get $5 to $10 CPMs. What CPM stand for? It stands for cost per milli. Milli is Latin for 1,000. So in other words, if I pay $5, I can get my content in front of 1,000 people. So if I spend $1,000 on ads, I can guarantee that my content will be seen by 200,000 people. And you have to be crushing it to have an organic audience that gets 200,000 consistent eyeballs a month. So this allows even a very small following to compete with the viral brands. The second thing, whatever you do, never track your metrics, your finances, and data in your business. Running a business without tracking data is kind of like coaching clients without knowing their food intake or tracking training volume or having any kind of measurement for biofeedback. We can only manage what we measure. And so it's like, look, maybe you're talking to a client and you're like, oh, listen, Susie, tell me how much you ate this week, right? And she'll tell you just a bunch of stuff. You're like, okay, cool. Well, let's just eat a little bit less this week. Cool. That would be crazy, right? So with our students, we first identify their revenue goal, then we figure out pricing. What that does, it allows us to reverse engineer to know how many clients we need to sign on a monthly basis, then how many of those clients we would need to re-sign to get us to that goal. Then we can create daily, weekly, and monthly targets to know precisely how to hit that goal. Let me give you an example. So let's say your goal is to make $16K per month, or which would be $193,000 per year. Let's say your front end price point is $1,800 for 3 months, and then we have a back end offer that instead of $600 a month for your front end, let's say it's $450 per month for 9 months. And now let's say we're converting 55% of people from your 3 to your 9-month offer. That gets us to $193K per year. Now we can run a formula to figure out what we need to do that. So 4 clients per month is 1 per week. If we're closing at 60%, that means we need 6.6 sales calls booked per month, or 1.6 per week, which would also mean we need to schedule between 13 and 14 rapport calls per month, which would be about 3.5 per week. This also means that in order to hit these targets, we need 136 leads per month, because we know we can aim for about a 2% lead to close ratio. So in this case, all we have to do is know every day we have to generate 4.5 leads and we have to book 3.5 report calls per week, which would give us 1.6 sales calls per week. If we just do that, we're good. So listen, those are like the macros you have to hit, right? And it's not just about being organized. It allows us to make decisions based on data, not emotions. The fourth thing, just learning by trial and error, right? Sure, trial and error can work, but it's costly, it's slow. Whereas investing in mentorship is the easiest way just to avoid costly mistakes. And look, even if you can't hire a mentor right now, I would at least spend 2 to 3 hours a week learning from other experts' content. But don't just listen to what they say. Watch how they do it, right? There's a big difference. All right, the final thing is freak out and stay up at night fearing what your friends and family might think about what you're doing. If you're afraid of being judged, you'll stay broke. People will judge you. Friends will be lost and family might not understand. But you have to ask yourself the question, are you more concerned about being broke or being judged? If you're choosing judgment over growth, man, I feel sorry for you, but that's the number one thing you have to get over. And listen, these are the mistakes that I've seen over and over. I've made them myself. And building a business is mostly about taking ruthless action, learning from others, and not being afraid to make a few enemies along the way. So you just have to ask yourself, right? Like, what is it actually holding you back? Is it a knowledge gap? Is it that you're not taking enough action? Or is it that you're trying to do this on your own and continuing to hit a brick wall? Now listen, if you followed my wife, myself, or our company at Impact Fitness Coaching Academy, I'm sure you've seen the results that we've helped thousands of health and fitness coaches achieve. And I'm sure you're wondering, like, is that possible for me? Is this something I should consider? And the truth is, we don't know for sure. But what I can tell you is that you'll never know unless you speak with our team to help you to determine if working with us makes sense. And the thing is, we actually guarantee our results. So if we're not sure that we can help you, we'll be honest. Okay, otherwise, we wouldn't want to help you if we're not sure that we're going to get paid. So if you want to learn more about how this works, just go to impactcoachacademy.com or you can click the link in the show notes. And thank you all for listening. I'll see you on the next one.